So today we're going to talk about a little bit about why we started this podcast, our evolving consciousness, right? And really what that means to us a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a guest on because we always have some fabulous guests, but we want to give our perspective a little bit about it because we've been dealing with this world of
for a long time.
Yes, holistic healing
yeah.
and intuitives and mediums. Yeah, over 20 years now. And we've gotten to know some really great practitioners, and
It's taken us some great places.
It really has. Yeah, we've done some fabulous events with it, and we had 8 seasons of Balance Your Life TV show.
We've seen lives change. We've seen people start doing spiritual work or working with healers and really change the trajectory of their life.
Right. We've seen people cured of cancer.
Yeah.
We've seen all kinds of things happen, like cures that are not supposed to be
not
cures.
allowed to say a cures, but yeah.
Right. Excuse me. But yeah, so we really want to talk about a little bit what that means to us as we try to, with our guests, take a deeper dive into spirituality.
Yeah.
Because we feel the world is ready.
When we started, right, it was about giving people experiential segments and sessions.
Right, and options, right?
Options.
Yeah, to use with medicine.
So use with medicine. So that they could sample it in a way that was safe.
Yeah.
And I think that when we started introducing and talking to people and interviewing, it was also an introduction in a way that was not too intrusive.
Right, just to educate them, create awareness about holistic modalities, different options, some spiritual things that go on, all kinds of tools and tips.
But now people are asking for it.
Yeah, people are ready now. We definitely see a shift the last few years.
Would you agree that once upon a time where you really had to educate people, like even to what it was you were doing, now it's like you have people just coming and...
everybody know. Yeah, back when I started working for Robert Kendarjian, back in the day, over 20 years ago, I would tell people, I work for an energy healer. And they would look at me like I had 5 heads.
Yeah.
And now people go, is that Reiki? If you say it.
Yeah.
Which, yes, it's similar. But people have the awareness. Or they know what energy work is completely. Some people have really, And also, before you talk about maybe an intuitive or something, and people would look at you weird, like, okay, like that's all woo-woo, weird stuff. And now people are so fascinated, and they want their questions answered, and they want to know. And they want to connect, too. Yeah.
And even if someone isn't looking for an answer, or they're not ready to get into that place where they ask a question, they're open to hearing or just listening to what's going on, and because they're open to it, it's communicating to them. They're getting some type of answer and response, and it's self-propelling, which is really cool, because I think,
it is cool.
When we talked about the podcast and what we wanted to achieve, we wanted to go a little deeper, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to understand, one, how people got to this place, their stories a little bit, but share what they knew that could better people's lives, right? Or that could help people through this process. Like, we've learned a lot of tips.
We have.
Want to talk about some of the great tips we've learned?
I don't know. Now let's see. Now we're on the spot of tips. Well, I mean, all the basic things like grounding.
Okay, so
those kind of things.
Right, so there's tons of people out there who are empaths, and people I was told I was an empath. You probably are. When you're very sensitive, and someone might refer to you as a very sweet child, or very sensitive, or you cry easily, or you get angry easily, you may very well be, and more times than not, you're an empath. You're picking up on other people's things.
Yes, other people's energy and what they're feeling.
Go through your whole life having mood swings or just being affected without knowing. So grounding and protecting yourself.
So important. So essential. I mean, I don't know. It's part of my daily life.
Yeah, why don't you talk about, mine too. You can tell someone how you ground.
Okay. So, when I wake up in the morning, like one of the first things I do when I get out of bed is just Christ white light. I picture this as I'm saying, wrap me in your white light, however you want to say it, from the universe. I say Christ. And I picture it starting at my head, coming all the way down to my feet, and then roots going from the bottom of my feet into the center of the earth. And that's how, and then you're anchored in, and you start your day off that way. So whatever gets thrown at you in the next 5 minutes to 5 hours, you're good. You're grounded. I also like to do 3 deep breaths in. Sometimes I do it with oils, depending on, how fast I have to get moving. Again, it's like a 15-second thing. 3 deep breaths in through your nose, release through your mouth. And then I say, I am aligned with divinity. Divinity is aligned with me. And that's it. I say a couple other prayers in there, but that's,
I've added,
simple.
Yeah.
Less than a minute to do, and it really protects you. Also, Archangel Michael is a great protector. Everybody probably knows that.
Yeah.
I also ask him to clear me.
I've added to my start of the day, when I get out before my feet even hit the ground, I just say, thank you for this day. I know I'm loved.
Yeah,
because again, we've learned that selfishness is not selfish in the way that being mean to anyone else. In order to be able to love and help everyone else, you have to love and appreciate yourself, because this body and this life is a gift. And when you see it that way, from a place of being appreciative and love, you can help others.
That's right.
So I start my day that way. If I go into a crowded space, because I've always been an open empath, and if I go into a crowded space, I always put up a shield of protection before I go in.
Good. You can bubble yourself up.
Or a mirrored sheer. So if anything negative comes at me, it reflects off, and I'll just stop there, just put up a shield of protection and turn it off. Not, you can stay open to everything you're getting, or you can close it, and there's ways of controlling that.
There are, absolutely, which, we could get into a little further.
So what other crazy things have been told?
The mirror thing is good. Archangel Michael, wrap you in mirrors, send the energy back with love and light to where it comes from.
How about putting somebody in the freezer?
Oh gosh! All right, the freezer. I'm trying to think who taught me that, but that is a really cool thing. And you know what's so hilarious about it is I used to do it constantly. So if somebody's like attacking you, or not even attacking you, just bothering you, giving you a hard time, you're not having a harmonious situation, this is so cool. So you take a little piece of paper, you write their name on it, and you write, just say, I would like the situation with them to be harmonious. Okay, just like an intention basically of, but you have to put it in the positive. Like you don't say, oh, I want them to stop bothering me. You want, the relationship to be more amicable. You take it, and now I learned 2 ways. I used to just take the little piece of paper, like a sticky note, and then you throw it in the freezer, because it's freezing the bad energy that they could be sending you.
I do it a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I was taught later, or someone said to me, is you put it in a little Ziploc bag.
That's what I do with water.
With water, and sea
it.
salt. And sea salt to cleanse the energy. Although I do find it's not necessary, but I do have that too. So one time when I was defrosting the freezer by accident, you should have seen all the little sticky notes and the little bags of water in there, and it so works. It does. I will say something without totally saying it, but we've got a bunch of our staff here, and so there's been a fun situation with the space, actually. And, it's been quite trying for several weeks. And all of a sudden, it hit me about, 2 weeks ago. Oh, my God, why didn't I put them in the freezer? Like, I swear to God, I forgot. It's so funny
because these are the conversations that we have. And Deb will be like, gee, did you put them in the freezer? And I'm like, I forgot.
Right, exactly. I forgot. So I did it. And so interestingly, everything worked out perfectly. I mean, who knows, right? Yes, I believe it works. Because you're talking about energy, and when you're talking about energy,
The other thing that's like that is really funny. I just thought of it when I said that to you. When we first met, remember years ago?
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Before the galas, we met, and Deb and I were talking about something. And I said, I don't know. And it had to be...
Yeah, we literally just met. And I was sitting in her office
years ago, so
in a corporate environment.
And I pull out a pendulum. and she's like... And she pulls out a pendulum, and we just started.
We were like, "That's it." We knew we'd be friends from that moment on. Because who pulls out a pendulum in a meeting?
Why don't we talk about what that is, right?
Right. Let's talk about that.
So a pendulum. People can use a pendulum for muscle testing, and that people will hear about kinesiology and muscle testing. But a pendulum will give you answers from.
We should do one. I have
your
one higher
self. I have one
there.
right here also. Oh. Why don't you grab one?
Yeah, we'll just show. Just go ahead, keep talking about it. But
so a pendulum is a way to connect to your higher self, and get answers for your highest good. And so,
or someone else's, yes.
Yeah, or
there
someone else's. If you do someone else's, though, I do that work. You need to get their permission,
yes,
their soul's permission before doing that.
Right.
And it's amazing because it looks like you're moving the pendulum, and you're not. You connect and you allow it, and so I can easily. Oh, look at that! Thank you.
Thanks.
So this is a pendulum.
Right.
Mine is purple.
Yeah.
So. When I do it, I'll hold my arm still, and I teach people to use a pendulum to show me your yes, okay? And that is like the nod of a head.
Right.
And then show me your no, oops, and I feel the energy run through me when it goes. You'll see my hand shake or something, and that is side to side, right?
Right, I get
so
the
I
same
can say
answers on
is
mine, but some people get them a little differently.
Name, Deana, Jennifer, so it's clearing. Asiero, Valente. And then it'll go to a yes. Is my name Deana Jennifer Asiero Malloy?
Yeah, and you could see it. It just goes wild.
It goes right to a no. So, but you have to have no. You can't try to force it.
Right.
And so that's it.
Right. So we just wanted to talk a little bit about an exciting event that we have. And if you're local, it is in New Jersey, in Bergen County and Ridgewood.
You can certainly fly in if you'd like to.
Yes, please fly in. But it's Sunday, March 23rd. And we are going to have a panel of intuitives that are world-renowned, also healers and mediums.
Mediums, and all of which who have been guests on our podcast.
Yes.
So you've had a chance to get to know them, hear about them.
Or you can certainly go back and listen to their podcast. But we have some really great people, and they are there to talk about the power of intention, which is our title this time, and give their different perspectives on that. And we'll probably jump in with that too.
We always do.
Because we like to.
But they will answer your questions, and the really cool thing is you're going to get guidance from more than one intuitive. Right? So
at least two, if not all the panelists jump in, because they can't control themselves, honestly. But that's okay.
And even when you're not called on, somehow miraculously your questions are answered. It's an incredible vibration.
Yeah, it's a great energy in the room. It will raise your vibration and your frequency just by being there.
Yeah.
But if you have questions, you're seeking clarity, or just anything you want to know about in any aspect of your life, right? Relationships, love, career.
We never know what's going to happen, but it's always amazing.
Right. Just come with your questions and look forward to getting them answered by our amazing panelists.
And please remember to subscribe below and like us so that we can continue to bring you incredible guests. And
thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. This is a yes.
So somebody ask a question. Does it?
Anybody want to have a question?
Yeah, while we're doing it.
Okay.
No one has one.
They're all stunned. So, anyway, the pendulum work has been something where people connecting. What's that? For a long time.
Oh, it has to be up higher.
I was wondering if you want me to film just her hand.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, we're going to just film her hand. We're going to check it out and so you can see.
So this is one of the things that our life has led me to. I started studying spiritual response therapy a bunch of years ago, and I went through courses on that. And that was just like clearing past life stuff. And that's another thing we learned about. We learned about past lives.
Oh my gosh, right.
How that
and how the past life thing is so interesting. And we have had a few people on with that, but I think we should do more of that because past lives affect your life today.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And your relationships with people. Did you ever meet like someone and either you absolutely love them immediately or you just you feel repelled by them?
Yes.
And you're like, why do I feel like this? I can't. And it's from a past life, no doubt, right? Now we know this, but back then maybe we didn't.
And it's something. And now we're also talking on our podcast to our guests about listening to those signals on your body.
Right. We talk about that a lot.
We do talk about that a lot, and that's because people are willing to hear it and want to know how do I develop my intuition?
Right.
How do I follow that? So right now this is a yes. So Deb, say something to me that I'm going to lie about.
That I'm going to lie about?
Well, just give me a no. And
Boy, I'm put on the spot and I can't think of anything.
Okay.
That would be.
I am 26 years old.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I am 26 years old, but meanwhile it's saying no because
you're not.
I'm not. Okay, but that's
great.
Yeah.
That was fast too.
It goes
That thing
right to
moves
it.
Fast. Yeah.
You have to be open and let the energy come through you for that.
Right. And you can do it with anything. It helps you with business or school or
absolutely.
any kind of personal question that you have. It's really
But
fun.
I have seen that I've worked with people and their energy is so that they want the answer they want. That their energy is literally intruding on getting correct answers. They're just, their will is so enormous. So you have to be out of that. You have to be open, and you just have to have no opinion and no ego.
Right.
I mean, it's because we're just connecting into our consciousness, our higher self, who we are, and that again is back to where we are. We know we are much more than these bodies.
We do. Yes.
You know?
And speaking of, like we were talking about off camera before about, a lot of predictions and things about the way the world is going, how things are going to be tough. And we already know we're seeing natural disasters all over the United States right now. I mean, it's just, horrific. And why is this happening? What is going on? Like, everybody's talking about it. In our world, anyway. Yeah,
the esoteric beliefs are, there's going to be this shift, and the religious beliefs are there's going to be this rapture, and there's great awakening, and so there's a lot here to talk about. Let's start with this: we are more than this human body. Yep. Okay, we both believe, I think, right? I'm safe in saying this, that we're an extension of source energy.
Absolutely.
Right? Even the Christian Bible says that God is within each of us, right?
Yes.
So we're extension of source energy, and we come here for a short time. And if you ask me, you keep coming back.
Yeah.
And Deb will agree, right? But you come here for this short time, but you're an extension of source energy. And so this body is so much more than it is. Well, this energy is consciousness. And we are part of consciousness. Consciousness is one, which is hard for us to wrap our heads around because we're all individuals.
Right, because we're all connected.
But we're all connected, meaning we are connected to the earth. So in tumultuous times, Mother Earth can just shake herself off and heal herself. Like, we think that we're beating her up. We are, but she can take care of herself. She's taking care of us. We are connected. And so to me, a lot of what's happening is there is this shift coming. There is this change coming. If you talk to some astrologers, they may tell you that the Earth is in a place in its orbit in this universe where it hasn't been in 26,000 years. We're up for a shift. There's a lot to that, but there's a lot of energy that's different, and so we're feeling it as humanity because we're becoming aware, and we're demanding change,
and we need to evolve.
We need to evolve, and the Earth is changing. And so we're going to see a lot of that. But I'm not in the team of there's going to be World War III and everything is going to end. I think that there's some tumultuous times ahead, but I think that it's all good. I think there's good coming.
We've had a lot of guests on, talk about how this year might not be so fun for all of us, but as long as you stay open and just keep trying to expand consciously or spiritually or however you want to say it, and just kind of roll with it and not get stuck in like the past beliefs, which is probably easier for young people.
Well, this is something else that's sidebar here where we learned along the way. And when you're looking at something and you're fixated on it, that's your viewpoint. That's where you are, right? Yeah. So if my viewpoint is here, I cannot move here. Somebody diagnoses me with cancer and this is where I am, that's where I am. I can't look elsewhere. You can't get stuck in that place. You have to move forward. You have to look forward. It's a moment in time. You choose on how you're going to freeze that.
You have to flow.
You have to acknowledge and move forward and be open to moving forward.
Right. So important. It sounds so simple in a way, but it's hard when you're faced with all kinds of adversity and, different belief systems, right?
Yeah, I mean, how many things have you been through, and then when you start to come on to something else, you feel crazy, you feel guilty for changing your beliefs, for looking elsewhere, right? So there's all of these things, but we are a race of people who have free will.
Yep.
And we do have, and that's
and
not
we've
just
talked
a
about
Christian thing.
we've
it's
talked
a
about
free will,
and
emotions.
Yeah. Right.
So this is a unique place, Earth, where we are. It really is, and I know, Deb, all of our souls signed up to be here during this time.
Oh, definitely.
Because there's a change coming. But I don't personally believe that the shift that people talk about means that we're all gonna, those who agree and who shift are gonna turn into little balls of yellow light and ascend off the planet, or that.
Yeah, no.
I think.
Well,
that,
it's already been happening too. That's the thing. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's coming" or whatever, but no, it's already here. It's already
here,
been
and
happening.
It's a process.
Yeah, it is a process. So by the time we're through it on the other end, and as some call like the age of Aquarius and things
well,
like
the
that.
age of Aquarius is coming in, right? Pluto
which is several
changing.
years. Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool things happening. That's why
Yeah.
all philosophers and people who study the earth, like even you go to the sciences or you go to geography and you go to anthropology and archaeologists, and they're finding civilizations that are much older than we thought.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
That are from
it's really wild.
before the time that we're supposed to be on this earth. And we're finding the technology that they had is beyond what we have. And we're finding like this, but we're finding this stuff out now, right? And then consciousness, which we talk about, is now recognized by science as a real thing, energy.
Absolutely.
It's a consciousness is a thing. We've acknowledged it, and it's in. So the world is changing rapidly, and the more people who are looking for it, the more changes are coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the more optimistic you can stay, anybody in general, just try to look to the good. Of course, it sounds, again, simple, but try to focus on what's going right and not, oh my gosh, what is happening?
Yeah.
You'll move through it easier.
I think, and even though, fear is a terrible emotion.
It is
Fear is a
rough.
terrible emotion. I think what we're going to start to see shake off is hate. I think the generation of our team that no one can see right now, I think...
All in their 20s, early 20s.
I think that they are no longer in the camp of, it's my way and I believe this and it's your way and so we don't get along. I think this is the generation here, the indigos, right, who are like, enough is enough.
Right.
You believe what you believe and it doesn't affect me, and I believe what I believe and it doesn't affect you, and we can be harmonious together.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the change comes. And I think for everything, it's good. They're seeking out a change, and there it is. It's the evolving consciousness.
There it is.
So hate needs to stay out of things.
Right. And some of those other negative emotions. Greed and all that. So hopefully, So we'll revisit another time, but we're going to keep on having the guests that we hope you're enjoying having. And we also want to do some things where we like to do the live reading thing. So we'll, with either mediums or intuitives.
Bring our people on who channel, and we'll have some people channeling.
Yes. So if you do have comments and you
questions,
after you subscribe and send us those, because we really want to answer those and really talk about what you want to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the comments, so listen to the comments. If you have questions, we'll try to get them answered. If there's something that you want to see, our guests who we have had here, we want to bring them back and go to the next step. We want to teach some energy,
lots of new ones.
Energy healing, and talk about what that is. And people know that there are meridians, and they understand acupuncture, and now what exactly is going on there, right? So. Explain what that means and why energy healing works, and how we are all connected, and really talk to people who are coming at it from different places. But
and then you can make your own choices and just
absolutely.
But we want to try to give you as much information again as we can.
Right.
So we really appreciate you listening, and we'll see you next time.